I think that we get way too invested in the idea of countries, languages, borders, differences. We forget that none of this is real, and especially countries, especially borders, especially passports, especially visas. These are literally lines that have been drawn some 70 years ago, some 100 years ago, some 50 years ago, some as little as 2 years ago. These are ever changing, and these are political, these are artificial. Everyone was born to live on this planet, to live on this planet that we call Earth. It's very simple. No other species on this planet needs permission to go over a border, right? And I'm not calling for an open border system, but I'm simply trying to acknowledge that I sense way too much of country talk in most places, especially in more monocultural countries, right? Think of China, think of India, think of Japan, think of other countries, even communities within what are otherwise multicultural countries. There is a lot of country-driven talk, and to some degree, nationalism and patriotism has its place, and it's great. But it is important to recognize that when you think on an individual level, when you think about yourself, when you think about opportunities in this world, when you think about what you want to do, you should at least try to think on a global perspective, on a global level, using a global perspective. Of course, the more you travel, the more things you're exposed to, but ultimately you have to realize that you're simply a human being before you're anything else. And just think about it. There are different species of dogs, different breeds of dogs, different breeds of cats, different breeds of rabbits. You can bring a dog from Brazil, and you can bring a dog from, say, Indonesia, and they will still mingle around. They're not looking at differences and whatnot. You don't consider them to be any different, do you? They're just dogs. Do you say, oh, this is an Indonesian dog, and oh, that's a dog from Rio de Janeiro? Sure, you might pay attention to the breed, but they're dogs. So I guess the point here is that on an individual level, it's important to see the world as your oyster. It's important to see the entire world on your platter, because you were born on this earth, and this entire planet is out there to explore. That's the way I look at it. And there are endless opportunities across the planet. The reason I say this is because when you're in the US, you think, okay, I'm looking at American job opportunities, I'm looking at the tech industry, I'm looking at New York, I'm looking at San Francisco, I'm looking at Boston, right, for finance. If you're in Australia, you're looking at Sydney, you're looking at Melbourne. If you want to go mining, you're looking somewhere around Perth, right? In India, the mindset is to move to a bigger city, to go to Delhi, to go to Mumbai, or to go to a destination abroad, which is again a very, very select set of destinations that you select from. And that is essentially the mindset everywhere. People are very, very country driven, but with greater exposure to the world, you start thinking on a global level, and that gives you access to opportunities that are absolutely untapped. And that is actually a great way to look at the world, is to look at it on a global scale. And there is so much of this world that is completely untapped, so many markets that are not being looked at. And it's not just about business or finance, or about corporate welfare. It's on so many levels, on a societal level as well. There is so much to look at and learn from and adopt and incorporate. So just, I guess the simple point with this video is that thinking on a global level maybe not when it comes to national or community events, but especially when you're thinking on an individual level, can actually be a game changer, because most people are not thinking on a global level when they're thinking for themselves. You're limiting yourself to a box, to my neighborhood, to my city. And if you don't do that, then you have to break out of your comfort zone. But if you can do that and you don't limit yourself to your neighborhood, to your city, to your country, then who knows where you can end up, what you can do, and what can't you do.